Welcome. We will be starting this webinar in a few minutes, waiting for a few more people to connect in. But in the meantime, I wanted to ask or mention that we would appreciate holding any questions that you might have until the end of the webinar. I will answer them at that point. But please go ahead as you think of them and use the chat button or the chat window. You should see a button or a tool at the bottom of your Zoom window. And we have Chris Widener in our sales and marketing person in the office monitoring those questions, and he will send those to me at the end of the webinar. I think it's time to start. I welcome everyone and thank you for taking the time out of your day today to attend this webinar on CDM Plus Data Hosting Service. Hopefully you've noticed the promotion that we're offering, Get 6 Data, which is offering the first 6 months of data hosting service at no charge. As I mentioned, I'd asked you to use the Zoom chat window to ask any questions. I will address those questions at the end of the webinar. What is CDM Plus Data Hosting? Data hosting is an optional additional service where your CDM Plus database is physically removed from your main computer in your office and placed on one of CDM Plus's computer or the cloud. What data hosting is not, is it is not a different version of CDM Plus, nor is it browser-based. Illustrating this, without data hosting, one computer in your office is considered the server and stores the CDM Plus database. Other office computers, if any, talk to that server to enter, change, query, and report on your CDM Plus information. Note that CDM Plus does not support any method to access your data from outside of your office without CDM Plus data hosting. With data hosting, as I said, your data is located on the cloud, illustrated here in the center of this circle, and is available to any computer, wherever it might be, as long as it has the CDM Plus client software installed and has access to the internet. Computers in the church office, computers at home, laptops that move back and forth, and even at conferences can connect and work in CDM Plus. Data hosting is simple. There is no difference in how you use CDM Plus. It is exactly the same software. Nothing new to learn, and certainly no surprises. Why should you use data hosting? Over 12 years ago, we began offering this service. At that time, the driving reason we developed it was to provide the ability to use CDM Plus outside of the church office. This remains as one of the primary reasons, but there are many other reasons. Today, the server or main computer in your office must be powered on in order for any other computer to connect to your database. With data hosting, this is a non-issue. You have 24/7 access to your data from wherever. Many of you know that there are really two parts to the CDM Plus system, the server component and the client application. Occasionally, the server component must be upgraded. Some of you may have experienced this at the end of 2019 when you upgraded from version 9.3, 10.0, or even 10.1 to meet the new payroll requirements. These server upgrades require administrative access to the server, and oftentimes this means that the church must schedule a service call with their IT service people. With data hosting, all server upgrades are performed by us, by CDM Plus, automatically. Your CDM Plus database contains sensitive information. names and addresses, phone numbers and email addresses, contribution and payroll information that should be held confidential. Today, if your server walked out the door on Friday night, this data would walk with it and would end up in some unauthorized person's hands. They would have a terribly difficult time accessing it, but it would still be out of your control. If you're not using the backup function provided within the CDM Plus service or software, your data is not backed up. If your server crashes or walks out that door and you don't have a backup, you are toast. We talk regularly with users that have experienced this disaster. With CDM Plus Data Hosting, your database is automatically backed up each late evening around 2 a.m. Further, we retain 15 backup cycles and we back up the backups. Finally, CDM Plus Data Hosting is a requirement for you to use the CDM Plus mobile app or to move into the Engage platform. Mobile, just touch on CDM Plus mobile app. It's designed for staff and leadership. It's provided as part of data hosting at no additional charge. You may demo the mobile app by searching either the iOS or Android app areas for CDM Plus mobile, and it will automatically connect to a demonstration database that you can test out the functionality. With mobile, you can view and update member information, including photos, mark and track attendance, email or text message group members, create secure visitation and pastoral notes and set important reminders. All of this from a mobile device, and all that are automatically entered into your CDM Plus database. Data hosting is also required for the Engage platform. Engage is designed for use by your members. With it, members can view online member directories, group directories. Members can update their own contact information. They can make electronic gifts with online giving. They can register for events such as Vacation Bible School and even pay for those events through Engage. They can view calendars. If you're using accounts receivable for school tuition billing or any other type of billing, bill payments can be done through Engage. Employees can view their pay stub history information through Engage as well. Engage is automatically updated when those are pushed out. No syncing is necessary. Moving to CDM Plus is easy. Simply give us a call at 877-891-4236 to schedule a boarding appointment. This appointment takes typically 30 to 45 minutes. We use a Zoom connection like we are using today, and you must be at the server computer that houses your database and have administrative access to it. At the end of the boarding appointment, an email is sent to you with instructions that others in your church can follow to install the CDM Plus software on their computers and connect to the cloud. Simple as that. Don't forget about the Get 6 promotion we're offering. This is good through May 31st of this year. Make sure that you mention the promo code Get6Data when talking with sales. My name is Steve Hansen. I am a member of the CDM Plus sales team, and I thank you for attending this webinar. And now we can get into any questions that you might have.
It looks like right now we have one question from James Woodruff. Yes, if we're using data hosting for 6-month trial and then we decide we can't afford it or have a reason, will our data be retrievable back to our local copy of CDM Plus to continue using on a local control basis?
Excellent question. Jim, that's interesting. The pastor at my own church is named James Woodruff in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. The answer to your question is yes, absolutely. If at the end of 6 months, you decide that data hosting, for whatever reason, is not working out for you, we reverse the process. We schedule an appointment. We migrate your database from our cloud back onto your local computer and put things back the way they were before we actually began. There's no obligation to move beyond 6 months. There's no obligation to go through the first 6 months even. So if something, for whatever reason, we will put it back the way it was without obligation or charge.
Awesome. So we have another question from Walter. He's asking, what happens if there's a local crash during the use of the client?
If your local computer crashes when you're on CDM Plus data hosting, or if it walks out the door on Friday night, you simply replace or repair your local computer, download the CDM Plus client software from our website. There's no cost to that. And you connect back into your cloud, and all your data is up on the cloud, is there just as you left it. We regularly assist churches when they get new computers or when they have replaced computers to reconnect, get the new hardware connected up to the cloud. Tech support deals with this regularly.
Great question, Walter, and great question, James. Let's see. Walter's has a follow-up question. Is there a network speed requirement?
Well, you certainly would not want to do data hosting on a dial-up internet connection. I understand there are still a few of those out there. I believe we say 5 down and 2 megabits up is probably the bare minimum for an internet speed. Obviously, the faster your band or your internet connection, the faster the performance is going to be. Well, very good. Again, thank you very much for attending today. And if you wish to move ahead with this, give us a call at 877-891-4236. Very good. Thank you very much.